Yes, ma'am.
You have understood. That means, first of all, uh, hold on once. Yeah. You are asked to find out what is load resistance value by using maximum power transfer theorem, and you are also asked to find out what is the maximum power which is transferred to the load. So I told you already that first of all you need to reduce the complete circuit other than this load resistance by Thevenin equivalent circuit. That means you need to remove this RL and convert the rest of the circuit into Thevenin's equivalent circuit. Okay. So what is Thevenin's equivalent circuit? It is a circuit which is consisting of, okay, a single voltage source in series with a resistance, where the value of the voltage source is the open circuit voltage between the terminals wherever you are asked to find out the response, and R Thevenin is the equivalent resistance as seen from, okay, the output side into the circuit. That is what is Thevenin's theorem. So if you just observe, whenever you are trying to find out R Thevenin, you need to deactivate the independent sources in the circuit. Okay, so deactivating independent sources in the circuit is circuit means for wherever you have a voltage source, you need to short circuit, and wherever you have current source, you need to open circuit, isn't it? That means actually, if you have internal resistances for those independent sources, you need to replace these two sources with their internal resistances. If at all internal resistances are not given to you, then you need to replace this voltage source with short circuit and this current source with open circuit. That is what we have done. If you just observe, short circuit means you just remove the voltage source and just connect it with a wire. Open circuit means anyhow it is open. Now, in order to find out R Thevenin, you need to observe from the output terminals into the circuit. So observing from the output terminals into the circuit means you need to assume that there is a source here. Whenever you have a source here, current starts flowing. So whenever current starts flowing, it gets divided. Okay. So it gets divided means both are in parallel. Combination is in series with this 3 and 2. That is what is Thevenin's resistance. Okay. So to find out Thevenin equivalent resistance, 2 plus 3, that means series combination of 2 plus 3 is in series with the parallel combination of 6 and 12. So R Thevenin value is 9 ohms. Understood? Next, coming to finding out Thevenin, you need to observe, okay, which method we feel easy to find out Thevenin. We have mesh method. So first of all, Thevenin, to find out Thevenin, I told you already, I'll share my Jamboard once. Wait a minute. Yeah. If you just see here, to find out Thevenin, what we have done, whenever these two terminals are open circuited, I am repeatedly telling you this, you need to, okay, work on problems of Thevenin's Norton's maximum power. Okay, anyhow, I'll be giving the notes of this. Okay, if you just observe, open circuiting these two terminals means whenever it is opened, there is an open path. Will the current flow through this 2 ohms resistor? The current will not flow through this 2 ohms resistor. That means there is no voltage drop. Whenever there is no voltage drop, voltage is 0, we will not consider this 2 ohms to find out Thevenin's. Then what is the other go? This positive is connected to this current source, negative is connected to this negative, another end of current source. So the voltage across the open circuited terminals is nothing but the voltage across this 2 amps source. But can you find out what is the voltage here? You don't know. So what is the other go? You just observe to which other connection this positive is connected. This positive is connected to this 3 ohms, another end, one end, and a negative is connected to this 12 ohms. So that means to find out VThevenin, you need to consider the loop which is consisting of 3 ohms as well as 12 ohms. Then what is the current flowing through this 3 ohms? The current flowing through this 3 ohms is I2 in this direction. And I am talking about this particular loop. Okay. So I need to consider the current flowing through this 12 ohms. Okay, in this loop only. In this loop, what is the current flowing through 12 ohms? I2 minus I1 in this direction, upward. So the voltage drop across the output terminals, open circuited terminals, is nothing but the sum of, okay, you can just apply KVL to this. That means drop across this one according to the direction of I2 and drop across this 12 ohms according to the direction of current which is flowing through 12 ohms. So if you just take the algebraic sum and equate it to 0 in this loop, excluding this 2 amps, excluding this 2 ohms, then you can find out what is the Thevenin's voltage. So what I mean to say is Thevenin's voltage is nothing but here the drop across 3 and 12 both. So to find out Thevenin's voltage, first of all, you should know what is the current flowing through this. And you have the current flowing through 3 ohms is, okay, in this direction. I2 is flowing and 2 amps is coming in the reverse direction. So I2 is equal to minus 2 amps. So directly we found what is I2, which is minus 2 amps, since you have a current source here. Okay, you just observe how I have, started from the first unit, starting from the first unit, how we are going step by step and we are applying it to the theorems. Okay, we have seen the mesh method for independent voltage sources, and if we have a current source only in one particular mesh, that too independently. And we have also seen if you have a current source in between two loops, like that we have seen so many methods. That is why for understanding theorems, the knowledge of mesh analysis as well as the nodal analysis is very important. Okay, so I have minus 2 amps here. Next, to find out what is the current flowing here, which is I1 minus I2, I should find out what is I1. To find out I1, I need to apply KVL to this loop. So you start from here, 6 into I1. So starting off this one, plus 6 I1, go like this. Next, plus 12 into I1 minus I2. Why? Because I1 current is coming in this direction and I2 current is coming in the reverse direction. That is why I1 minus I2. Next, minus 12 is equal to 0. Okay. So here you substitute I2 value here, and then we can find out I1 to be equal to minus 0.666 amps. After finding out I1 and I2 values, now coming to finding out VTH, I have took only 3 ohms as well as 12 ohms resistors here. So through 3 ohms, the current is flowing in this direction I2. Through 12 ohms, the current is going upwards, which is I2 minus I1. Now start applying KVL to this, okay, path, which is consisting of 12, 3 and VTH. I start here plus 3 into I2 because the current flowing through this is I2. So plus 3 into I2. Next, go like this, plus VTH. Now come like this, plus 12 into I2 minus I1. That is what is written here. You just now substitute the values of I1, I2 here. After substituting I1, I2 values, we got VTH to be equal to 22 volts. Now you have VTH. Now you have RTH to be 9 ohms. Now you can find out maximum power, okay, with formula which is equal to VTH square by 4 into RL. So RL is nothing but R Thevenin, which is 9 ohms. So 22 square divided by 4 into 9. So we got the power, which is maximum power which has been transferred from source to the load, is 13.44 watts. 13.44 watts. I think I am clear with the maximum power transfer theorem. Okay. So the best application for the maximum power transfer theorem is the audio system, like mic system you are observing now. This is the season of Ganesh Utsav. Okay, every street you can find out mic settings, all those things, isn't it? Okay, so the point here why I'm mentioning is maximum when you are able to hear the complete sound, okay, in a very high level when, okay, maximum power is transferred from the source, which is a deck system which you have, to that mic, whichever you are placing it on the top of the street lights or whatever you have. Okay, so maximum, after transferring maximum power from the source to the load, then only the voice audibility is clear. That is what I mean to mention. So that is one of the application. That is only the application of maximum power transfer theorem. But there is one disadvantage with maximum power transfer theorem is only the efficiency of that particular system where you are transferring maximum power is only 50%. Very, very important bit this is. The efficiency of maximum power transfer theorem. Okay, so if I write here, the efficiency is represented with this symbol eta, which is equal to only 50%. Even though maximum power is transferred, now I'm not talking about power here. I'm talking about efficiency. Efficiency is what? Output to the input. Output to the input. Okay, only 50% efficiency we are able to get from maximum power transfer theorem. This is very, very important bit. You can note down. So you will have more number of bits in maximum power transfer theorem, I told you. So first of all, how maximum power is transferred? What is the condition? The condition for maximum power transfer is when load resistance is equal to Thevenin equivalent resistance. That is the first point if you talk about a DC circuit. Now coming to the AC circuit, okay, maximum power is transferred from source to the load when, okay, load impedance is equal to complex conjugate of source impedance. That is another important bit. Next, another point is what is the formula for maximum power transfer? So it is Pmax is equal to VTH square by 4 into RTH or RL, you can write. That is another important bit. Fourth one is what is the efficiency of maximum power transfer theorem is only you could able to get 50% efficiency for this maximum power transfer from source to the load, right? I think I am clear. Do you have any doubts, ma? Yes, please.
No, ma'am.
Anyone? Okay, this is very simple theorem. Even in the laboratory also, you'll be verifying this theorem. Okay, by connecting a decayed resistance box, which is a variable resistor, by connecting to the load, we'll just apply some voltage and then we'll vary the resistance value. We'll observe the readings. We'll note down for each and every resistance what is the voltage, what is the current, what is the power. Okay, so we'll observe. We'll before that we'll be finding out what is equivalent Thevenin equivalent resistance for that circuit, and we could also observe that maximum power is transferred when this load resistance value has reached to Thevenin's equivalent resistance. So that is a very simple experiment that you are going to do if at all, if this is over in your laboratory, right? Okay, now I am shifting to another problem which is related to, okay, AC, right? Yeah. Okay, I'll be continuing with the Jamboard itself. No need to. Yeah. Yes, this is a circuit now you are given, which is an AC circuit, and you are asked to, okay, find out what is load resistance value. Okay, so if you just observe here, you could able to see a voltage source with a symbol. Actually, this plus and minus will not write. anyhow, to identify what is positive and negative, they have written it as positive and negative. So any AC source, okay, which is of sinusoidal, any our AC, all our AC sources are sinusoidal in nature. Okay, they are represented like this. Until unless it is mentioned clearly that it is not an it is not a sinusoidal voltage, then we can represent it with another symbols. If it is a triangular wave, triangular input, then we'll be representing it with triangular input. If it is a square input, we'll be representing it with, until it is mentioned, AC source is always represented with a sinusoidal symbol. Okay, if you just observe here, you are given the polar form of the voltage, which is, mind you that always the voltage which is given here is an RMS voltage. What is that voltage? RMS voltage. So I think you would have heard about average value, RMS value, form factor, peak factor, all those things in your single phase AC circuits first year, isn't it? Okay, so RMS values are the DC equivalent of an AC quantities. Those are all the root mean square values which are found out for every instant of time we'll be calculating, and squared and rooted. If you root it, then it will become an RMS value. So all the values which are given here. So for example, our AC supply is 230 volts, 50 hertz, isn't it? That 230 volts is always an RMS value. It is not an average value or it is not an instantaneous value. 230 at an angle 0 degrees. Okay. When I talk about single phase, I start with 230 at an angle of 0. If it is a three phase, that case is different. So that is also in your network analysis subject that we'll be talking about in your 5th unit. What is three phase? Okay. How to measure the voltages, all those things. So whenever you are given some voltage, this is always an RMS value. Okay, right? So and so you have conducted some experiments in your BWE lab, isn't it? Isn't it? How many experiments have you conducted in BWE lab? Machines.
5 man.
Machines. Machines 5. I think only one batch have done it. After that, we have lockdown, I think. So another batch couldn't have done it. Maybe one or two experiments they have done. So in basic electrical engineering lab, when we talk about the machines lab, whenever we are trying to, I'm not talking about DC lab because all those experiments are related to DC. Okay. And anyhow, you have used digital meters to find out the voltages and currents. Those are all DC values. Now, whenever I talk about AC, okay, machines, transformers, okay, like motors, generators, you have conducted so many experiments. Brake test on DC shunt motor. Okay, next load test on a single phase transformer. Next brake test on a three phase induction motor. All those things you have done, isn't it? That is purely AC. That to single phase supply. Except for three phase induction motor, we have used a single phase supply. Single phase, what is the value of the voltage we got? Generally, it is not always exactly 230 volts. It will be fluctuating. It will have a tolerance value, which is plus or minus 5%. Okay. Due to the transmitting of the voltages from the generating station, it will be distributed, and at the consumer, whenever it comes to the consumer level, somewhat it is given a tolerance value of plus or minus 5%. Okay, so that voltage which is coming to our home, even to our to our household, you are getting a single phase 230 volts, 50 hertz. Okay, supply. That 230 is an RMS value. That is very, very important. You need to note down. It is also an important bit. Okay, and whenever you are doing experiments in basic electrical engineering lab, you would have seen, connected some meters, isn't it? To measure voltage, you have a connected voltmeter. To measure current, you have connected ammeter. To measure power, you have connected watt meters. These are the three things you have done. Always voltmeters and ammeters, AC type. Okay, AC voltmeters and ammeters will read RMS values. This is also an important bit you can note down. Always voltmeters and ammeters which are measuring AC values, I am stressing the point, which are measuring the AC values, they measure always the RMS values. They don't measure any average, they don't measure any, instantaneous or whatever you have. They measure RMS values. Then what about wattmeter? A wattmeter will always measure an average value. This is also important bit you note down. A wattmeter always measure an AC wattmeter. AC, I'm talking about AC. Okay, wattmeters always measure. There is no question of DC wattmeters. We don't have any DC wattmeters. Okay, wattmeter, if I say, it is an AC type only. Right? So why I'm talking about in DC anyhow, we multiply voltage and current directly, you'll be getting power. But in AC, it is not the case. There is another term called cos phi, VI cos phi, VI sin phi. There are two things. You can't just multiply the voltage and current value, you will not get power value. Okay, so that is why wattmeter is constructed. Okay, that is another different subject which is called electrical measurements. You will be studying in your third year, second semester, I think. Okay, that is a very interesting subject about measuring instruments. How they measure the values whenever a voltage is given to it, how they measure the values, all those things. A wattmeter always measures the average value, very important bit. Whereas ammeters and voltmeters will measure RMS values, right? So why I'm telling all these things is we are talking about an AC problem here. So whenever I write this in polar form, this is an RMS value. And you are given to find out the, equivalent Thevenin impedance or load impedance. Okay, let us see what is the question. Let me see the question once. I'll share. Actually, it is very difficult to make you understand in this PPT because there is no annotation possible. That is why I'm using the Jamboard. Okay. So what is that question asked? Find the Thevenin equivalent circuit and the network viewed from terminals AB and the load impedance for maximum power transfer. Also find the magnitude of maximum power transfer. That is a question. You just you have this AB terminals. Okay, let us now go there. Yeah. Now, what is the question asked? You are asked to find out, the Thevenin equivalent impedance between these two terminals and reduce the complete circuit to Thevenin equivalent circuit first, and then find out what is the maximum power transferred to which resistor? 2 ohms resistor. Why only 2 ohms resistor? Because that is the resistor which is connected between these two terminals. Okay, so what is the procedure we follow? To find out Thevenin impedance, you have to short circuit this. First of all, you need to remove this 2 ohms. First of all, remove the 2 ohms resistor here. After removing, it becomes like this. Then short circuit the, voltage source. After short circuiting the voltage source, you just view from this side into the circuit. Whenever I view from this side into the circuit, I see that both are in parallel. Are you following, ma? No response. Anyone? Are you following?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay. Yes, ma'am. Okay, okay. Right. So these two are in parallel. Okay. Whenever these two are in parallel, then combination value is Z1 into Z2 divided by Z1 plus Z2. So what is the value here? J8. It is given as J8 ohms. Okay. J8 ohms means you convert it to polar. Whenever you just remember that whenever a value is only given in imaginary without any real part, definitely you will have 90 degrees angle, because some 8 ohms magnitude value is multiplied by J operator, it will rotate this by 90 degrees. That is the point. Okay, whenever you are having negative imaginary value, then it will be minus 90 directly without any real part. If this will work out only when you don't have real part. Okay, only imaginary value. So this is 8 at an angle 90, this is 6 at an angle minus 90. because here you have a capacitor and you have an inductor represented like this. Okay, so 8 into 8 at an angle 90 into 6 at an angle minus 90 divided by, okay, 8 at an angle 90 plus 6 at an angle minus 90 gives you 2 at an angle 90. You can just check out in your calculator. Are you ready with your calculators? Yes, please. Ready with your calculator? No response.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, do it. Do the value, calculate the value and tell me the answer. Check the answer whether you got the same or not. Make it fast because the AC problems are a bit, time consuming. Even though they look, the method is very simple, but the calculation part when we go, it is a time consuming factor because they involve polars and rectangular conversions. Okay, so a bit time consuming, but the problems will be very easy to solve, but they are time consuming problems. Make it fast. So ZTH is equal to 24 at an angle minus 90. Have you got the same? Hope everyone is doing.
Doing, ma'am.
Yeah. So I have been telling you from the first class, everyone. Okay, you have to put paper, pen on the paper. You have to put pen on the paper. Then only you will understand this subject. Simply listening. Okay, if you do calculations in the air, it will not work out. Okay, doing calculations in the air, it will not work out. I want every one of you to practice these problems.
I got same answer, ma'am.
Same answer. Very good. One more thing. Mind you that this is a very interesting subject. Okay, once you catch on the technique how to solve the problem, you feel automatically you will get an interest to solve more and more problems, so that you will get confident. Okay, because this is a very basic subject and scoring subject too, and also having weightage in your competitive exams. So I am reminding you every time. I'm not only discussing about theory part of the class. I am also discussing about the bits which are going to come in your competitive exams. Okay, so try to inculcate interest in the subject as well as love the subject, so that you can do miracles in the subject, and you can get interest in getting a government job, right? Fine. This is about Thevenin equivalent impedance. After that, what is the next step? You need to find out VThevenin, right? So if you just observe, to find out VThevenin, I need to find out open circuit voltage between these two terminals. The open circuit voltage means, if you just observe, this positive is connected here and negative is connected here. That means if I can find out the drop across this minus J6 ohms, then that is nothing but the voltage across open circuited terminals. So that is what I told. Even though the terminals are open, the voltage between these two terminals is due to, okay, the current which is flowing through this J6, because there is a drop here and this is connected in parallel to this open circuit. That is why there is a voltage between the open circuited terminals. But for open terminals, there will be no current which is flowing through it. For current, it should always have a closed path. Okay, for current to exist, it should always have a closed path. For voltage, okay, the voltage will be existing due to some other current which is flowing through that element which is connected in parallel to the open circuited terminals. That is my point. Okay, so now if you just observe, apply KVL to the or else you can apply KVL, or directly you can find both are in series. Voltage divided by series impedance, you will be getting what is the current flowing. Or else you can apply KVL to this loop, giving sign conventions. You start from here. Okay. So this is somewhat different. Fine, you start from here, minus 10. Okay, this is This is written in another way. Okay, that this is also correct. You start from here. Okay, drop they have taken minus j8 into I minus j6 minus of minus j6. This is plus j6, and coming to this one, raise plus 10 at an angle 0. Anyhow, you will be getting the same answer. So you go with your procedure. You start from here, plus j8 into I. So let us suppose this, the current flowing here is I. Always here already it is shown as I, plus j8 into I plus of minus j6 becomes minus j6 into I. Next, minus 10 at an angle 0 volts is equal to 0. Anyhow, we will be getting the same answer. Have you got? You just check out. 10 divided by total impedance. J8 minus J6, which is J2. J2 is 2 at an angle 90. That's it. J2 is what? So if I write J2, if I convert it to polar, it will become, I already told you. So this is positive. So this is magnitude 2 at an angle 90 degrees. J8 minus J6. J2. This is the impedance. 10 divided by J2. So you got current I. After getting current I, Thevenin's voltage is equal to that current I into minus J6 or Z2 into, Z2 is this one only, Z2 into I minus J6 into 5 at an angle minus 90. So V Thevenin equal to how much? 30 at an angle of minus 180 degrees volts. So that is represented here, VTH and ZTH. 30 at an angle minus 180 volts divided by, ZTH is 24 at an angle of minus 90 ohms. Okay. So you are also asked to find Is my screen visible? Yes, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay. Thank you. I have just connected my hotspot. Okay. Is this okay now? Now, what you need to do is you are asked to find out maximum power, isn't it? So ZTH, what is the value you got? 24 at an angle minus 90 degrees ohms, isn't it? Hold on once, let me check out. Yeah, wait a minute. So 2 ohms. Yeah. So if you just observe here, ZTH is not equal to the load resistance, the resistance value, okay, which we have, removed. Then in that case, what you do is Pmax will be equal to, okay, Pmax will be equal to VTH square. VTH, what is your VTH value? You need to take only the magnitude, not the angle. VTH square by 4 into that 2 ohms. RL, 4 into 2. VTH square by 4 into 2. This is another corollary in maximum power transfer theorem. VTH square into 4 into 2. What is your VTH value? VTH is 30. So 30 square divided by 4 into 2, 8. That is your Pmax value. Okay, so if you just observe here, this is 24 at an angle minus 90 degrees. But our removed resistor value here is 2 ohms, isn't it? 2 ohms. This is not equal to this one. But in that case, if you have a load resistor value which is only the resistance but not the impedance, then what we do is VTH square by 4RL will be writing 4 into 2. Right? I think I am clear with this problem. Next we will be shifting to another theorem. Yeah. Okay, this is about maximum power transfer theorem. Next theorem is, okay, wait a minute. He has given resistance. Okay, resistance is not concerned. The circuit is purely inductive. Yeah, sorry. Let me see this once. Is my screen visible, ma? Pmax. Yes, okay. He has given that we will not consider this 2 ohms. Okay, very sorry. We will not consider this 2 ohms. That is, I think that is different. Okay. We will not consider this 2 ohms because it is already removed. If you just observe here, okay, we have a 24 at an angle of minus 90 degrees. 24 at an angle minus 90, how will you represent it in, rectangular? You will be representing it like minus J 24. Minus J 24. So minus J 24 means, do you have any real part here? You don't have real part. What is our formula for finding out maximum power? VTH square by 4 RL. So what is our load resistor value? Load resistor value is, that should be equal to generally ZL conjugate. ZL conjugate, isn't it? Then only maximum power will be transferred. But you don't have any, real part which is resistance value. So this will be equal to VTH square divided by 4 into 0. So power is equal to 0. The pure inductor. So negative means actually it is a capacitance value. So the value is 0. Okay. Right. So maximum power is 0 here. Not the previous one is wrong. P max is equal to 0. Right. Next one. Let me go to the next theorem. Okay. Something is written here. Right. Coming to reciprocity theorem. First of all, there is a condition for this reciprocity theorem. What is that? Reciprocity theorem is applicable only to single source networks. It is applicable to only single source networks. Okay, what do you mean by single source network? You should have only one source in the circuit. Next one is, it is therefore not a theorem employed in the analysis of multi-source networks described thus far or so far. That means we have, in Norton's theorem, Thevenin's theorem, maximum power transfer theorem, all the theorems, we have a voltage source, current source, or two voltage sources or two current sources like that. Okay, so n number of sources, even though we can apply all those theorems. But reciprocity theorem is not applicable to those networks, okay, which are having more than one source, which are having more than one source. So that is a very, very important bit here. Reciprocity theorem is only applicable to single source network. That is one of the limitation of reciprocity theorem. It is not applicable for multi-source networks. Okay, next. Coming to the statement of reciprocity theorem. What is the statement here? Okay, we just observe. The name itself tells you that reciprocity. Reciprocity means reciprocal. Reciprocal means what? For example, if you have a resistance, reciprocal of resistance is called conductance. Okay, reciprocal of conductance is called resistance. That means a reverse value, that is called a reciprocal actually we call. So from that only this theorem has come, reciprocity theorem. What is this? If I have a network which is consisting of a source value in one mesh, and you are finding out current in the another mesh, source value in one mesh and finding current in another mesh. Okay, generally the current I in any branch of the network due to a single voltage source E anywhere else, whether it may be in the first mesh or it may be in the second mesh. What is this current? I'll show you. Okay, E anywhere else in the network will equal the current through the branch in which the source was originally located if the source is placed in the branch in which the current I was originally measured. So I'll put this complete sentence in a very simple sentence. I'll tell you one thing. So we say that whenever you have a voltage source in one mesh and you are finding out current in another mesh, the ratio of this voltage to the current in the second mesh should be equal when both are interchanged. That means this voltage source in the first mesh is connected in the second mesh and you are finding out current in the first mesh. If you take the ratio, you should get the same answer. Then only we say that that network is a reciprocal network, and we also say that reciprocity theorem is verified. Okay, so I think you didn't understand. Let me show the figure. So if you just observe here a circuit, okay, I have so many resistors here. Okay, I have a voltage source here. I found the ratio of this voltage to the current here. So this voltage source in the first mesh and current in the second mesh. Okay, so the ratio of voltage of the first mesh to the current in the second mesh should equal when both are interchanged. You just observe how they are interchanged. Due to this voltage source, the current has come here, divided at this node. Some current has flown here, another current has flown here. That means the current has come and divided and flown like this. Similarly, that should happen when it is interchanged. Both are interchanged. That means this is replaced here. Okay, replaced means we have not touched this resistor. That resistor is as it is. Only through those two terminals, okay, where we have found the current, you just replace it with a reverse polarity and measure the current in this direction upwards. And measure the current in this direction upwards. Why? Because if you just observe, or else if you keep the same polarity here, for example, positive and negative is here. Here also you kept positive and negative. Then the current has to be measured downwards. The current has to be measured downwards. Since I have kept in this manner, the current is measured upwards. That's it. Because through this positive polarity, the current comes and divides and flows through this branch AB. So these are the terminals of AB. These are is replaced here. So in both the circuits, the ratio of voltage, this voltage to this current should equal to the ratio of this voltage to this current. Mind you that this E value will remain as constant. For example, if you apply 10 volts here, here also 10 volts will be applying. If it is 5 volts here, here also 5 volts will be applying. Okay, that means in this direction when we take the ratio and in this direction when we take the ratio, if both are equal, then we say that the reciprocity theorem is verified. Understood? So I have only a single source here. Similarly, if you have a circuit like this with 10 number of resistors and a voltage source between terminals A and B here, C and D here, when we try to measure the current, the ratio of this voltage to this current should equal to the ratio of this voltage to this current, then we can say that, okay, reciprocity theorem is verified. Have you got an idea now? Shall I proceed? Yes, please. Please respond. Hello. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Hello. Is it okay? Reciprocity theorem.
Okay, ma'am.
Right. So let us go to the problem on reciprocity theorem. So you are asked to verify reciprocity theorem for this circuit. Yeah. Anyone is finding any difficulty? Okay. So you are asked to find out, not find out, verify reciprocity theorem for this circuit which is shown here. How will you do that? You can use any method to solve this. Okay. I'll just share my Jamboard to make you understand. Yeah. If you just observe here, okay. So you need to find out the ratio of this voltage to this current. Okay. So for this to find out, since it is a very simple circuit, I am using current division method and reduction method. If you just observe, both are in series, isn't it? 4 and 2 are in series. Combination is in parallel. Combination is in series. So first of all, you need to find out R equivalent. You need to find out R equivalent. R equivalent for this combination. If you can reduce this complete resistors into one equivalent resistance, then this circuit becomes like this. The voltage value is 45 volts and current which is coming from the source is IS. So why we are doing all this is we need to find out the source current. Once you find out source current, then only you can find out what is the current flowing through 4 ohms. Okay, so find out R equivalent value. R equivalent is series combination of this, comes in parallel with 6, comes in series with 12. That is what I wrote. 4 plus 2, parallel with 6, parallel symbol. Complete combination, I have showed it in square bracket, comes in series with 12 ohms. So if you just solve it, this 6 parallel with 6, anyhow you will be getting 3 plus 12. 3 plus 12 is how much? 15 ohms is your R equivalent value. So once you get R equivalent, then you can find out IS, which is equal to 45 by 15, which is 3 amps. So once you get IS, then you can find out which is the current which is flowing through 4 ohms. Total current I is equal to total current IS into opposite resistance or parallel resistance to this combination is 6. Because I is the current not only flowing through 4, it also flows through 2. Okay. So if you just take the series combination of this, then a resistor will come in parallel with this one, 6 ohms. Isn't it? So parallel to both of these is 6 divided by 6 plus 2 plus 4. 6 plus 2 plus 4. So you will be getting 1.5 amps. Okay. So take the ratio of, this 45 with 1.5. Or else no need to take. We found the current which is flowing through this 4 ohms is 1.5 amps. Now interchange. Interchange means what? This voltage source is brought here and you need to find out current in this branch. The circuit becomes like this. So whenever I interchange, I ensured that the current is flown in the upward direction, because positive polarity is here, it divides, and ultimately the current which is flowing through this branch is upwards. Again, same thing, you need to find out equivalent resistance here, to find out total resistance value, to find out total current. So equivalent value is how much? Both are in parallel here. If you just observe 12 and 6, combination comes in series with this 2 plus 4. So 12 and 6 parallel, 2 plus 4, series with 2 plus 4. So if we just find out what is the value, we will be getting 10 ohms. So IS is equal to 45 by 10. So the voltage value divided by equivalent resistance value 10, which is 4.5. Now let us find out what is current here. Total current IS into what is the opposite resistance to this 12 ohms? Only 6 ohms. Okay. So IS into 6 divided by 6 plus 12. So 4.5 into 6 by 18. Anyhow, it is 1.5. So in both cases, we got the current same. Anyhow, the ratio will also be same. If you get both values same and ratio also same, anyhow, if values are same, ratio also will be same, then we can say that reciprocity theorem is verified. At the end, what we write is reciprocity theorem is verified. Understood? Any doubts up to now? You just tell me. Okay, next class we'll see the AC problem of this, and then next we'll shift to another theorem. Any doubts regarding this reciprocity theorem till now? Okay, 201. Give your attendance.
Present, ma'am.
1 is absent. Okay, 2.
Present, ma'am.
3.
Ma'am, 2 present, ma'am.
3. 2 present.
ma'am.
Okay, 3. Who is 2? Who is 3, ma? Wait a minute once. 4. 4 is not there. 5. Sindhu, are you there? Sindhu? Okay. Okay, 6. 7.
6 present, ma'am.
7. 8. 9. 10.
Present, ma'am.
Okay, 11.
Present, ma'am.
11.
Present, ma'am. 11 present, ma'am.
Okay, 12.
Present, ma'am.
12 is 13. Naveen. Naveen. Okay, rain stopped. He also stopped. 14. 14. 15. 16. 15 present. 16.
Present, ma'am.
17.
Present, ma'am.
18.
Present, ma'am.
19.
Ma'am, network problem.
Okay, 20. Srinivas. Srinivas.
Network problem, ma'am.
21.
Present, ma'am.
22.
Present, ma'am.
23.
Present, ma'am.
24.
Present, ma'am.
25. 26.
Present, ma'am.
27.
Present, ma'am.
28.
Present, ma'am.
29.
Present, ma'am.
30.
Ma'am.
30. Amma. 30 present,
ma'am.
Okay, 31.
Present, ma'am.
Present, ma'am.
32. 32. 32. 33.
Present, ma'am.
34.
Ma'am, 8 present, ma'am.
8 వచ్చావు అప్పుడు 38,
Present, ma'am.
39,
Madam, 36 present, ma'am.
Ma'am, 35 చెప్పండి మ్యామ్. 34 last.
32 absent ante. 32 absent. 39,
Ma'am, 32.
35 ma'am.
okay ma, okay. Only I'll read out the absentees. 1, 7, 9, 13, 14, 25, 32 till now. Okay.
Ma'am, 32.
Present, ma'am.
Ever
One
present?
present, ma'am.
One present. 32.
Ma'am,
Pawan.
32 present, ma'am.
Okay. 38, 38,
Present, ma'am.
39. Vijender, how are you? Not there. 40,
Present, ma'am.
41,
Present, ma'am.
42, 42, 43,
Present, ma'am.
44, 44 Jagdish. Absent still. 45,
Yes, ma'am.
46,
Present, ma'am.
47,
Present, ma'am.
48,
Present, ma'am.
49. Post your attendance in chat box and leave.
Present, ma'am.
50, 50, 50, 51,
Present, ma'am.
52, 52, 53, 54,
Present, ma'am.
55,
Present, ma'am.
56,
Present, ma'am.
57, 57, 58,
Present, ma'am.
59, 59. Okay. 60,
Present, ma'am.
61,
Present, ma'am.
62,
Present, ma'am.
63,
Present, ma'am.
64,
52 present, ma'am.
52. Present. Okay. 60. Where are we, ma? 62, 63,
Present, ma'am.
64, 64, 65,
Present, ma'am.
66,
Present, ma'am.
67, 67, 68,
Present, ma'am.
69, 269, 70, 70, 71,
Present, ma'am.
72,
Present, ma'am.
73,
Yes, ma'am.
74,
Present, ma'am.
75, 75. Okay. 18, 233, 233, 244,
Present, ma'am.
251,
Present, ma'am.
51. I want 51.
Present, ma'am.
Okay. Next, 29,
Present, ma'am.
39, 39. Kumar, 79.
Present, ma'am.
Okay. Okay.
Ma'am, 214
Thank
present,
you.
ma'am.
214, Swanik. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So see the absentees 1, 7, 9, 30. Amma? 242.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. 7, 9, 13, 25, 39, 44, 50, 53, 57, 59, 64, 67, 69, 75, 18, 233. That's it. Okay, fine.
Madam, 18,270 present, ma'am.
8, yeah, Balaji, sorry, 18, 270 present. Right. Okay, you may leave. Post your attendance in the chat box and leave. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.